Well, on this Veterans Day, we're kicking off a special week here on KRCG 13 Live at Sunrise. Every day this week at this time, we will have a guest with us to talk about an organization that helps veterans or family members of veterans here in Mid-Missouri. And that's what we have this morning. Stephen Gaither to talk about Mid-Missouri Fisher House. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Well, thank you, Tony.
Pleasure
to be here.
We appreciate you being here. For people who have never heard of the Fisher House, what is it exactly that the Fisher House does?
Fisher House provides free temporary lodging to family members of veterans getting care at that facility. And in this case, Mid-Missouri Fisher House, it's Truman VA Hospital in Columbia. And the Fisher House Foundation builds and furnishes these comfort homes for family members at military installations and VA medical centers. And they've been doing it for almost 35 years.
And the one in Mid-Missouri, which is basically kind of right next door, I believe, to where Truman VA Hospital is right there. It hasn't been open very long, right? A little more than a year?
The house opened officially in July of 2023. It is literally steps away from the main entrance of the hospital. So it's very convenient for those family members that are staying at the Fisher House.
And not open very long, but you've served, I imagine, quite a few people in that time.
Well, since that time, more than 1,000 families have been served, roughly 1,900 individuals, and it's such an asset for those family members to be able to be near their loved ones during that medical crisis.
Brings them a lot of comfort, I'm sure, to have amenities like that. And for people who stay at the Fisher House, just what kind of amenities can they expect?
Well, it has free temporary lodging, so you've got a room. There are 16 suites in the Mid-Missouri Fisher House, so 16 to 40 family members can stay at any one time. There's a wonderful kitchen facility, and food is provided. They can bring their own food, but there's also food that is provided for those guests. That's where organizations like ours, the Friends of Mid-Missouri Fisher House, supports the Fisher House with incidental expenses for groceries, personal items, emergency needs.
Right, and you certainly, you could use some help from the community, couldn't you, with all kinds of things, right?
Well, absolutely. We're a non-for-profit organization, independent of the foundation as well as the hospital. So we're raising awareness and we're raising funds for that program. People can help us with a donation. They can go on our website, or they can write us a check, or they can conduct fundraising activities that will benefit the Fisher House. They can also support us when we have a fundraising event, and our biggest event is an annual golf tournament, and our 2025 golf tournament is scheduled on the 28th of July at the Columbia Country Club. And the main thing is to provide more information to people, let them know that there is a Fisher House, because when we go out and give these presentations, more than half the audience have never heard of a Fisher House. So we want people to know about that benefit and how important it is for the families of veterans.
Very good. And so the website, and we will put it on the screen again there, midmofisherhouse.org. And for people really quickly who want to stay there, how does that work? Do they contact you? How does that work?
They work through their care team. So the social workers with their care team will initiate a consult to the Fisher House staff, and then they will arrange for that stay. And it's really for people who travel more than 50 miles to and from the hospital. It's not unusual for patients who come to Columbia, Truman VA, to travel as far as 200 miles one way for that care. So it's a very important program for those family members so they can be close to their loved ones. I spent 40 plus years at Truman VA. I know there are veterans who did not use their benefits because they couldn't afford to bring their family members with them, and they just didn't use that benefit they'd earned by their service.
Right. So now the Fisher House there doing great work. Again, you can head to their website if you'd like to learn more. If you want to donate anything, you can find the information there. Stephen, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.